Murder on the 31st Floor. Radio play based on the novel by Pierre Walho, adapted by Hans Helge Ort. Hey. Yes. Where are you? Right in front of the Union Building. Turn off the siren when you pass the square. Traffic is very heavy. That won't help. You have to avoid attracting attention. The reporter will listen to the police report anyway. We have nothing to fear from them. I'm thinking of the general public. Understood. Are you in uniform, Jensen? No. Good. Don't let the uniformed officers come closer than 300 meters to the publishing house. They are to block off the streets. Only plainclothes police officers are allowed directly inside the building. Is that clear? Scene. Official reason for the roadblocks. Any repair work? For example, a burst district heating pipe. Good. Jensen, anything else? Yes. Park at a sufficient distance. Understood. Jensen? Yes. I don't need to emphasize the delicate nature of this assignment. No. Gentlemen are very sensitive. Don't make a fuss, if at all possible. Don't disrupt operations if you can, and don't make any unnecessary inquiries. Mind you, no unnecessary ones. Do you understand me? Yes. I'm relying on you. It's up to you to assess the situation. That's it. In retaliation for the murder you committed, a powerful explosive device has been planted in the building. It has a timer and will detonate on March 23 at exactly 2 p.m. May the innocent be safe. There, without a period or comma. May I? Yes. Glued on letters. Apparently cut out of a magazine. When did that arrive? This morning, in the mail. I must advise you to evacuate the building, and that's out of the question. Why? Impossible. How much effort do you think that will entail? Besides, I can't arrange it. Who can arrange it? The publisher, no one else. I want to speak to the publisher. He has already announced his arrival, but evacuating the building is out of the question. Do you have any idea who could have written the letter? No. Do you see? No. What kind of paper is this? Aha. You're already here. What's your name again? Detective Jensen from the 16th Precinct. Very good. The police chief recommended you to me. I assume he knows what he's doing. You've probably met our director already. Yes. We have 98 others. He's the first publishing director, right? Quite right. Yes. You can see that. You've already seen the letters. Yes, of course she's completely crazy. That's clear. Yes, there's hardly any other conclusion possible. Aha. Or it's simply a bad joke. That would of course be very tasteless. She's crazy. What? You just said she's crazy. Ah, I'm just a simple publisher too. I don't know anything about these things. Is there any evidence that a woman sent the letter? That's her business. I suppose someone must have glued the letter together. Why shouldn't it have been a woman? I just happened to say it. Exactly. It must have been someone. I wonder who. Indeed. I must recommend that you evacuate the building. What are you thinking, Mr. Jansen? Do you know what that means? Goosebumps and forgiveness. That means we have to stop production. How many magazines do we publish? 144. Do you have any idea what it would cost? How much would it cost? That would be, if we assume a total of almost 1 million at least. Possibly twice as much. Possibly. I must nevertheless recommend that you evacuate the building. What are your people actually doing? They are searching. Well, if there really is a bomb, then they will find it, right? The bomb could be anywhere, and we only have 20 minutes. After all, even if the bomb is found in that time, It will take some time to defuse it, but maybe there is no bomb at all. That's unsafe. That's why I have to recommend that you evacuate the building. Yes, I know. How long will it take to evacuate the building? 15 minutes without the 31. Of course. You have 31 floors? No. We have 30 above ground and 4 underground. Didn't you just say 31? That's different. Listen, 6,000 people work here. Let's say there's a bomb. Let's say it explodes. Can you estimate what the percentage loss would be? The building will be too cramped anyway. It would be an insurance policy. I didn't understand you. What percentage loss of personnel would be? You can't estimate that if you don't know how powerful the explosive device is. It's also a question of prestige. Someone might say, we blew the building up ourselves. Have you looked out the window yet? No. Then do it. A magnificent view, isn't it? This morning, on my way to the office, I saw crocodiles. Spring is slowly coming. Everything smells. Everything is somehow radiant. Don't you think so? I've never thought about it. Have you been in the police force for long? 14 years. You don't get enough time to go for walks. Well, then clear the area. Attention, this is a fire drill. The building has to be evacuated within 15 minutes, starting in exactly 30 seconds from now. The building is evacuated. Understood. That's it. Do you think it's very dangerous? There's no reason for you to stay here. Yes, the publisher has gone to his country house, and I'm practically next in line. 20 seconds. And if the whole building collapses, that's unlikely. Well, let's hope so. 10 seconds. That's the 31st. What? You said earlier it takes 15 minutes to clear the building without the 31st. Oh, that's something else. That has nothing to do with it. 0. Nothing. No, nothing. An outrageous crime. Nothing happened. Apparently, there was no bomb. Nevertheless, it is an incredible crime. Yes, you must solve the case, Jensen, also in your interest. I will do what I can. Proceed with caution, Jensen. Despite everything, people are worried. The interruption of production has supposedly cost you $2 million. The publisher is in personal contact with the Minister of the Interior. I did what I had to do. I do not want to criticize your measures. I know why I entrusted you with the case. No one has complained yet, but you know how sensitive people are. I understand. Everything else you do is unimportant at the moment. Concentrate entirely on this case, and please maintain absolute secrecy. The commanders of the plainclothes patrol were present and know the full cost. That is very regrettable. You must urge them to keep quiet. Jensen, of course. Have you already initiated the investigation? Yes. According to what plan? The technical evidence is being analyzed. Psychologists are examining the text. A man is working with the post office. Any results? Not yet. Do you personally have a theory? No. My prior knowledge of the company is insufficient. Do your research. Yes. Perhaps if you prefer not to contact the publisher directly. Read the magazine. Yes. Is there anything wrong with me having the plainclothes patrolmen act as bodyguards? As bodyguards? Yes. You mean for the company management? Yes. Yes. Do you think that's necessary? Yes. Hello. Yes, I'm still working on it. What do you say? Jensen? Yes. From now on, the investigation is entirely in your hands. I don't want to be informed about your methods or the measures you're taking. The responsibility lies with you. I'm counting On you. Good day, Commissioner. Do you have a stomachache again? Please refrain from making unnecessary remarks. Are there fingerprints? No fingerprints. What about the envelope? A very common type, cheap, and so far offers no clues. And the paper has a very special structure. By the way, it looks like it's been torn off at one edge. Can you tell where it came from? Possibly. Anything else? Yes, the letter was posted in a western part of town. After 9 p.m. on Sunday and 10 a.m. the day before. It's impossible to say for sure. Good. Anything else? Not yet. Work is still underway. Good. Something else. How many magazines does the company publish? All of them, I think. All of them that exist, as far as I know. Yes. Find out. How many will there be? Around 100. Probably 150, and they're published weekly. Yes. Can you bring them all to me? Yes. And do it quickly. It's old. That's it. Do you mind asking a few questions? I'm a busy man. Did anything happen that could provide a plausible explanation for the expression murder you committed? Of course not. You can neither explain it nor connect it to anyone or anything. No. As I said, the imagination of a madman is the only possible explanation. There were no deaths, at least not recently. I suggest you talk to the HR director about this. I'm actually a journalist, you know. In any case, you're on the wrong track. If we assume that the intention of the letter was to harass the publisher or the management, in which group should we look for the perpetrator? Among the mentally ill, I'll say it. Is there no group or individual who has a negative attitude towards the publishing house or its management? Have you read our newspapers? Yes, all of them. Then you should know that our publishing policy is aimed at not creating any hostility, aggression, or disagreement. Our magazines are healthy and focused on pleasure. They are not at all intended to complicate the lives and emotional lives of our readers. The publishing house has no enemies. The same applies to the publishing house management. The idea is absurd. It is possible that I will be forced to conduct certain investigations in the building. In that case, you must proceed with absolute discretion. The investigation requires a certain freedom of movement. I can give you a master key and an ID. Yes. That would justify your presence in a way. Yes. I'll write the ID myself. That would be best. Yes, it won't go any further now. The edge release. What? You have to press the edge release button there. Oh, thank you very much. It's new. Make out a temporary employment card for a Mr. Jensen, which grants him free access within the company. He belongs to the building inspection, valid for 1 week. Include a master key. Do you have any other questions? What is 31? The special department, a project group working on plans for new magazines. We have identified the paper, Commissioner. Yes, and a document paper with the designation CB3, manufactured by one of the group's own paper mills. In and of itself, that's not so remarkable. That's practically where the paper belongs. To the point. The mill is located in the north, barely 40 kilometers from the city center. This type of paper is mainly produced for export, but a small amount is also printed in one of the in-house printing plants. Two different formats. If I understand correctly, only the larger of the two is suitable. We do some of the advertising for the publishing house here. These are full-page copies for daily newspapers. They cost 5 times as much as you or I earn in a year. Yes, of course they don't care. They own everything. Newspapers, magazines, publishing houses, paper mills, printing houses, but they pay a lot for good things. Are you editing this here? Yes, we do very good things too. We made private stationery for the publisher out of it, and a kind of diploma for employees of the publishing house, that is to say former employees, when they leave the publishing house. I must have a sample somewhere. It was a 2-page thing, a leaflet. The text was only on the 2nd page, if you understand what I mean. Ah, here I have a specimen copy. Good work, isn't it? I'll take that with me. Oh, we only have this archive copy left. Aha. Well, if you need it, goodbye. Deaths. Well, a few people have died inside the building in the last year, but always from natural causes or accidents. I'll have a computer printout made for you. Is there anything else I can do for you? What is this? Is this where... You got it? This is a letter, or maybe more of a thank you note, for those who are ending their service here. The management wants you to keep a nice memento of the publishing house. Does everyone who leaves get one? But no, it would be far too expensive. How much do you think it costs? It's a token of honor that is generally only given to people in a leading position or to particularly trustworthy employees. In any case, those who receive the diploma must have performed their duties well and acted as worthy representatives of the publishing house. How many of them have you given out so far? Very few. The diploma has only been available for a short time. I'll have a computer printout made for you of the person concerned, if you like. Are the diplomas stored in an easily accessible location? Not at all. You are in the vault. What are your duties? I am the HR manager. I know that. What are your duties? Hiring the editorial and administrative staff, making sure that everything is done for the benefit of the staff, and ridding the publishing house of those who abuse our trust, taking action against those who behave badly, but of course only in extreme emergencies. Thank you. May I ask why you are interested in these matters? This is an official matter that I am not authorized to discuss. My name is Jensen, detective in the 16th Precinct. I am involved in an investigation concerning your former position and your former workplace. Look, dear God. Yes, we have you. What made me... Excuse me, I was a little startled. Please sit down. I knew it. My God, I knew all along that they would blow me up when the madness was over. I can already imagine that now they want to take everything away from me, of course, but they should be careful. I know quite a bit about it. I know quite a bit, I can tell you. They wouldn't dream of it. Because there are figures, and I'm curious to hear how they're going to explain it to you. Do you know how much tax they pay? Do you know that? And do you know who their tax experts really work for? So start. It doesn't matter now. Do you actually have to interrogate me here at home? Speak into the tape recorder. What was your previous position in the publishing group? I was sales director. Are you speaking into the tape recorder? Yes, I was sales director. And when did you give up your job? In the fall, on September 10th. I'll never forget that day, and neither did I remember the weekend before. You were fired early. Of course. They forced me to go, but up until now they've continued to pay me my full salary. But of course you can stop doing that at any time. I signed the papers. What papers? And they called it the report. The confession, then. You must have read it, namely, I always told them that they wouldn't report me for the scandal. But this measly million seems to be more important to them. They embezzled money. Oh, really? Most of it was building materials, means of transport, workers. Well, my house, of course. They wrote everything down, even rubber bands and paper clips. They must have been watching me for years. Ridiculous. Compare that to what they've managed to get away with. I wonder how they're going to explain all this. And what are you planning to do with me now? When they stopped, they received a kind of diploma from the publisher, a letter of thanks. Right. Yes, right. But what's the point of this now? I want to see it right away. Yes, I have it over there on the wall here, behind glass. I don't really know why I hung it up. It just makes a good impression, namely N. There must have been a flyleaf on it, blank. Yes, indeed. What did you do with it? I must have thrown it away, I suppose. I cut it off. You're not sure? No, but I should have thrown it away, because I remember exactly that I cut it off. With a knife? Well, with scissors. Okay, goodbye. That's it. Yeah. And when are you coming back? I don't know. Goodbye. Jensen, what the hell are you doing anyway? I've just started the interrogations. It couldn't have been any faster. I don't mean the speed, but it doesn't matter now. Fortunately for you and me, the matter has finally been solved. Solved? Yes. The people at Verloc have discovered the culprit themselves. Who is it? A journalist, employed by one of the magazines. Supposedly a bit of an eccentric guy. Apparently they suspected him from the beginning, but of course they didn't think it necessary to tell us anything. Well, I see. I guess they didn't want to suspect anyone without having solid evidence. Yes. In any case, the matter is completely cleared up. They are withdrawing their lawsuit against him, bearing the loss and showing mercy. That is their business. All they need to do is record his confession, and then they can close the case. Yes, let's get it over with. Wopley. 26 years old, son of a well-known businessman. Family is considered wealthy, unmarried, variously described as a protege of the publisher. Unstable character, spontaneous, charming, humorous, prone to drastic jokes, bad nerves, limited reliability, tires easily, twice convicted for possession of alcohol, 2 compulsory rehabs. Sounds like a black sheep if you ask me. That's enough. Skip any superfluous remarks. End. So you sent the letter? Yes. Yes, I've already said all that. When did you post it? On Sunday. At what time of day? In the evening. I can't remember exactly. Before or after 9 o'clock? After 9 o'clock, I think. As I said, where did you glue the letter together and cut out the letters? Well, here at home. No, at my parents' house. What paper did you use? Ordinary white paper. Typewriter paper. No, something else. A piece of some kind of diploma. How did you get the paper? At the publishing house. It was about people who quit or are laid off sometimes, getting a diploma like that. Should I describe it? No. Where did you find it? That's what I said. At the publishing house. Be more specific. It was just lying around. Where exactly? Oh my God. So how am I supposed to know that now? It must have been lying on someone's desk. When was that? It was a few months ago. So you can believe me or not. I really don't remember exactly. In any case, it wasn't this year anymore. Why did you take it? It was Fun. I wanted to give it to some guys. Jace? Yes. And when did she come up with the idea for the letter? On Sunday. It was just meant as a joke. I didn't know they would cause such a fuss. When they sent the letter, they tore the paper apart, didn't they? Yes. You're absolutely certain of that? Yes. They didn't cut it, they tore it. Oh, I see. Well, I'm not entirely sure about that at the moment. Think about it. I don't know. Try it. I don't know. Where did you put the letter? Here in the city. More precisely. My God. In some mailbox. Where's the mailbox? I don't remember. What part of town was the mailbox in? I told you I don't remember. What part of the city do your parents live in? In the east. Did you put a letter there? I don't remember. Here in the south? No. Are you certain of that? No, I don't know at all. I drove around the whole city that evening. Where did you put the letter? Where did you find the diploma? Did you tore it or cut it up? I don't know. Thank you, that's enough. What? That was the wrong man the publisher had listed. Yes, I understood. But how can that be? He confessed. The confession was false. Did he admit it? He will. My assistant is interrogating him right now. Jensen, are you absolutely certain about that? Yes. Will you find the right one, Jensen? I wouldn't want to lick your skin either. Listen, Jensen, discretion is even more important now than it was before. Do you understand? Yes. I'm relying on your judgment. Good luck. Yes. Oh my goodness, a man. Jensen, detective in the 16th precinct. I'm involved in an investigation concerning your former position and your former workplace. God, how exciting. A real detective. Come on, my dear. Make yourself as comfortable as you can. May I offer you a cherry? No. Oh my goodness. I've really let it slip now. But sherry isn't really a real alcohol, is it? How can you get through the long days when you're not even allowed to have a glass of cherry? Isn't that right? When did you give up your job? At the turn of the year. And please be so kind as to not just say resign. For us newspaper people, it's a calling, like for priests. You can forget your readers for a moment. You live so intensely in the rhythm of the newspaper that you have to devote yourself to it completely. Why did you quit? I left the publishing house because I felt that my career was fulfilled. I had achieved my goal. For years, I had led the newspaper from victory to victory. I'm not exaggerating when I say that I created it with my own 2 hands. When I took over, it was nothing. Within a very short time, I turned it into the largest women's magazine in the country. Well, and shortly after that, it was already the largest magazine in the world, and it has held that position to this day. So how did I achieve that? Through hard work, through total self-sacrifice. You have to think in terms of images and headlines. Open all your senses to the reader's demands in order to gild their everyday lives with dreams and ideals. That's what the reader appreciates. You have to have what we journalists call feeling. Be tough on the inside in order to be able to give on the outside. And you do all that for one goal only, the magazine and the readers. 2. What? 2 goals.
You probably know how I became editor-in-chief.
No. Oh, it's almost like a fairy tale. Like a picture novel. It was wonderful. I come from humble beginnings, and I'm not ashamed of that. But the publisher is a genius, greater than Democritus. Democritus. Oh God, me and names. Of course I mean someone else. But, oh, it's not so easy, all the things you have to remember, isn't it? Verlier took me from a very humble position and gave me the management of the magazine. Just think, me as a very young girl and then head of a large editorial office. But within 3 months I had stamped my style on the magazine. Can you imagine? I introduced the 8-page grand horoscope. I designed the factual series about the mothers of great men and the 4-color pet supplement. And my reward for that is hundreds of thousands of heartwarming, touching, grateful letters from loyal readers. Don't ask me how you achieve something like that. Man, you can feel it. You can simply feel it in your heart. You received a diploma when you were injured. Oh yes, of course. And of all the presents I received, it was perhaps the most beautiful. Wait, I'll show you. Every single one of them had signed it. Hundreds of signatures. I had to go this far. I have it hanging on the wall upstairs. Come with me, Inspector. Or would you like me to quickly bring it down for you? He admitted that the confession was made up. Good. He also admits that he was paid to give false information. I see. Should I find out who gave him the money? No, that wouldn't be difficult now. That's enough. Go back to your work. The man up front is drunk. Well, leave him alone, sir. He's just a little sad. Detective Jensen, 16th Precinct. The man up front is drunk. Yes. Yes, thank you very much for the tip. I overlooked it. Yes. Snack bar 524. We have a case of drunkenness and possession of alcohol. Okay, thank you very much. What can I do for you? A rusk, please. And what's next? I'd like a rusk. It's old. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. I didn't want to eat 1:30. Jensen, Detective, 16th Precinct. I'm involved in an investigation concerning your former position and your former workplace. Can you show your ID? Yes. Good. Come over. Sit down somewhere if you can find a free chair. Clear some space. You're drunk. You're a good observer. You wouldn't normally notice it. When did you give up your position? 2 months ago. Why do you ask? Speak into the tape recorder and state your last position in publishing. Wait a moment. Horoscope introduced. I have focused on this series of facts about the mothers of great men. Oh, shame, I'm in good company there. Did you go to her house? I would never dare. So you know her? Of course, I worked at her magazine when she started. I survived for almost a year. Survived? Yes, of course I was younger and stronger back then. Now that you've noticed it anyway, it probably doesn't matter anymore. Not her too, so not also good. What are you after here? I can't tell you anything about that. So if you want to know anything about this dragon, then you've come to the right place. I could write your biography. So do you know how she became the editor-in-chief of the country's largest magazine? I thought so. Hardly anyone knows that. It's a shame. She was a cleaning lady. Cleaning lady. And do you know where? On the executive floor. Aha. In the past, cleaning was always done in the evenings from 6 o'clock. She would come at 5 or shortly after 5, when the staff had already left. The publisher was still in his office, and every goddamn evening she would go into his office, where he was sitting at the time, doing something that no one should see, God knows what, and say, "Oh, for goodness sake, forgive me," and then she would step out again. The boss was pretty keen on anyone under 20 back then. That was common knowledge. And do you know what he always started with, so to speak, as an opening? He introduced himself, let me think. He owns the whole place, and so Whacker would trot after her, tap her on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me, I'm the boss here." Or does the boss know what? What does she do? She plays dumb. That won't be hard. She looks at him with her cow eyes, pretends to be shy, and mumble something incomprehensible, and with that she won him over. He almost got his ass out, but she just kept shoving him around and mumbling and wiggling her ass while cleaning. She probably became an obsession for him. He had her followed, and I know, but she put his head on the cross. I don't think he could find out where she lived. Follow me. Yes. And do you know what she did then? She came later. She simply came later every day, and the boss, what do I think he did? He stayed. Yes. And at some point, she didn't come until the other cleaning ladies had already finished work and got a new one. It was fabulous. So she rattled her damn bucket so he knew she was there and went riding to him. And there he was, life-size, wearing nothing but a goddamn mesh shirt. You shouldn't do anything. And as soon as she closed the door, he pounced on her. He tears off your clothes and puts them on your back and looks at them, scratching and decorating and squeezing until sparks fly. That was wonderful. And then you know what happens? The night watchman comes along with a big bunch of keys from his belly and a flashlight in his hand. And when he sees what he sees, he slams the door and runs as fast as he can. And the publisher in the mesh shirt follows him, who thought the night watchman wanted to raise the alarm, but the poor guy was just totally panicked because he shouldn't have seen that yet. He was scared to death of losing his job. Well, and the boss, what should I tell him? He was too. And where in the elevator? One was in uniform, the other only in a mesh shirt, and when the first one finally dared to press the stop button, they were already in the basement. And when they come back up in the same elevator, the poor guy's night watchman has become the inspector for the entire building, even though he hasn't said a word the entire trip. And a week later, an internal memo came to our editorial office that we were getting a new editor-in-chief, and a quarter of an hour later this monster comes in and all hell breaks loose. Oh my god, my god. What happened then? She staged a real Kristallnacht. Practically the entire staff was thrown out and replaced by the most fantastic idiots. We had an editorial secretary who was actually a hairdresser and had never seen a semicolon. When she happened to see one on her typewriter, she came to me and asked what it was, and I was so afraid of being thrown out that I didn't dare tell her. I remember saying that it was probably just some more intellectual nonsense. The dragon hated everything intellectual. According to her, anyone who could write his name was an intellectual. The only reason for my survival was that I apparently wasn't like the others, and that I was careful with every word I said. But do you know what's best? Through her unique stupidity, she managed to double her circulation within 6 months. The magazine was filled with photos of dogs, children, cats, potted flowers, horoscopes, and instructions on how to read coffee grounds, and not a single comma was in the right place. What little text there was so incredibly naive and simplified that it could easily compete with anything printed today. I swear that once I was forced to explain that instead of simply writing locomotive, it was a vehicle on 4 wheels that runs on rails and can shoot wagons. The magazine had to be a tremendous success. The entire press industry was ultimately reshaped according to her model. The only fly in the ointment was the night watchman. He was so incredibly proud of his position that he couldn't keep his mouth shut and told everyone how he got it. 6 months later, he was crushed to death by a patanis. Well, it was so stupid that you could almost say it was his own fault. The publishing house didn't have an easy time with our editor-in-chief monster. They say they had to pay $1 million in funding so that she would finally leave after 20 years. Why did they quit? What does that matter? Why did they quit? They were fed up with me. I guess I didn't look good enough. I assume I wasn't a good ambassador for the publishing house. She always attaches great importance to that. Was that the direct reason for your dismissal? No. What was the reason? I drank alcohol in my room, and they had to leave immediately. The HR director of the publishing house is also the chairman of the journalists' union. What could I have protested about? She got a diploma when she was fired. Oh well, what does it matter? It doesn't matter now anyway. Did you get a diploma? Yes. Where did you get it? Mere Wharf. When? I don't know. Maybe it's still lying around here somewhere. Who knows? Would you find something here? We found the diploma, but it wasn't easy in the pile of rubbish. To the point. Was it intact? Not torn, but there was a piece of sausage between the pages. All of this in a chest of drawers with socks and the like. Limit it to what is absolutely necessary. Your reporting leaves a lot to be desired. Excuse me, Commissioner. I'll make a report on that. One more thing. Yes, a few years ago, the building inspector of the publishing house must have been killed in a paternoster accident. Investigate the circumstances. Find out everything you can about the man. It's urgent. Give me a pretzel, please. Then wait. Do you have porridge? With or without flavor? Without? Right away.
Dure. Would you like something to drink? A glass of water.
You must have a stomach problem. Hurry up. You have to let the porridge steep for 3 minutes for it to dissolve. The man was hit by a 19-year-old snail. His cabin had stopped between 2 floors, and when he was about to climb out, it moved on. Does he have any relatives? No, he lives in a junior hotel. Did he leave anything behind? A large sum. Who inherited it? No one. After 2 years, the money was transferred to a public fund. Okay, all that. Oh, Inspector. Yes. Does that still apply from before? I mean, will you report? Of course. Good day. What can I do for you? Jensen, Inspector of the 16th Precinct. I am involved in an investigation concerning your former position and your former workplace. Please come in. Sit down here, please. How can I help you? With some information. I am at your disposal. When did you resign from your position? At the end of October last year. And how long did you work at the publishing house? 15 years and 4 months. Why did you quit? Because I wanted to return to private life. Of course, I did so at my own request, through the usual ordinary notice of termination. May I offer you something? Tea? No. Where do you currently work? I am financially independent and do not need to work to earn a living. What do you do? I devote most of my time to reading books. When you left your position, did you receive some kind of diploma or a letter of thanks? Yes, that is correct. Do you still have it? I assume so. Would you like to see it? Do you admit that you sent an anonymous threatening letter to the publishing house management? No, I do not admit that. What was your last position at the publishing house? I was hired as a foreman journalist and have remained in that position the entire time. Do you know anything about Department 31? I have been listening to it the entire time. Do you admit that you wrote an anonymous, threatening letter to the publishing house management? No, Department 31, or the Special Department, as it is also called, is the most important department in the entire publishing house, as you should know. I am aware of that. What exactly do you do? Nothing. Please explain. Yes, I will explain. Do you have a bit of time? No, it's old. That's a pity. Okay, I'll try to explain it as briefly as possible. I worked as a folk editor for a small daily newspaper. In the columns I was responsible for, not only was information about literature, music, and the like disseminated, but discussions were also held there. For me and for some others, these discussions were perhaps the most important thing. They had a very wide scope and touched on practically all events in society. They were often sharply critical and far removed from all conventional opinions. Yes, I know what you mean. It's true. They worried people, often made them dismayed, disappointed, and anxious. They criticized institutions, ideas, and even individuals, but we thought that was the right thing to do. My work was directed in particular against the weekly press, the magazines that at that time showed the first signs of environmental change. They simplified and trivialized everything in a way that, in my opinion, was extremely harmful. Please keep it short. Yes, very well. I will try. I continued writing as before, but then newspaper after newspaper was bought up by the publishing group. At that time, there was a seemingly endless series of mergers and acquisitions by power brokers. Finally, the newspaper I worked for was also absorbed by the publishing company. Of course, I was immediately dismissed. Several months passed, and my future did not look particularly rosy. Then one day, to my astonishment, I was invited to a meeting by the publishing company. Do you admit that you had written an anonymous threatening letter to the management? No, not yet. I was told that the publishing company did not want free discussion to die out, and the people who cultivated it to languish through inactivity. They were planning to publish a comprehensive and completely independent cultural magazine and would involve the most critical and combative forces in the country. And I was understandably proud to be allowed to work among these people. And let's get down to business. The majority of the publishing company's employees did not even know of the existence of our department. We were housed on the top floor next to the elevator motors, where no one would have expected offices. Next, in just under a year, we had finished the first zero issue, the first test copy. To our astonishment, the magazine met with almost unanimous approval from the publishing management. We were only asked to make minor formal corrections. We made these corrections. Then they said that in order to launch it on the market, it would have to be ensured that a magazine of this quality could be produced every week. We got to work. That took almost another year. Now they demanded some changes to the layout. We did that too, and suddenly there was no printing capacity available. We had to wait. We had to wait even longer. As you know, the magazine never made it onto the market. The entire intellectual elite was occupied with work that would never be published. The publisher deliberately murdered the entire culture of the country with us. I don't know if you understand the gravity of this fact. Admit it. Yes, of course. I'm not very good at not telling the truth. Are you going to put me in prison now? What was your motive? I wanted to draw public attention to the publisher and its machinations. It was the only way. Do you understand that? Take your toiletries and follow me. I understand. Incidentally, I have another confession to make. I wrote another threatening letter to the publisher with the same text. It should arrive tomorrow. Did you plant a bomb? But no. Do you know anything about explosives? As much as the director of the publishing house, Hegel, I have always been a pacifist. If I had all the army's supplies at my disposal, I wouldn't be able to build anything with them. It will explode. Do you believe me?
Yes. Jensen?
Listen, Jensen, where have you been all this time? I was busy with the investigation. Yes, all right. You can call it off now. The publisher is probably withdrawing its complaint. In any case, they have indicated to me that they are not interested in further searching. That is unnecessary. Found the TST. Found. Yes. Did he confess? Yes. And that's really it. Yes. Yesterday, I was asked by the highest authorities what the chances were that they would solve the case. I didn't know what they were doing, and, to be honest, I said what I thought was right. Okay. Maybe that's the best way to do it. So you solved the case. I think it would be good if you informed the publisher yourself. Call him right away, Jensen. Yes. Listen, you did a good job. And I had already given up hope. Really, my dear friend, respect. Thank you very much. The man is of course mentally ill, not W. Listen, my dear friend. Yes. Did your research reveal anything else? I don't quite understand the question. Any information that is of interest? No. Not even trivialities? No. Good. You have contacted the man. Quite right. Well, then keep me informed. Yes. Good. Then I thank him again. There's one more thing. It's already very late, Mr. Jensen. I have some important meetings at the publishing house tomorrow. I'll keep it short. Please do. The perpetrator has confessed to having written and sent another letter with the same content. It will arrive tomorrow. But I think, there won't be a bomb hidden this time either. It's probably not to be expected that he'll carry out his threat this time. I don't think so either. On the other hand, it's of course possible, or it can't be ruled out 100%, but it's extremely unlikely. With the insane, you never know. No. Very well. Good night, dear Jensen. Jensen, how is it possible that the alarm came at the last minute again? Why didn't you tell the publisher yesterday on the phone? I told him, and he didn't do anything. That's completely unthinkable. May I ask if you spoke to him personally? No, to the publishing director. He says he didn't know anything about it. The publisher traveled abroad this morning. Listen, Jensen, do you think it's possible that the arrested man still had the opportunity to plant a bomb in the publishing house? I think that's out of the question. When? I also doubt that he ever had the intention. Okay, then I'm relieved. I'm counting on you. Yes. Still carry out the evacuation, according to the same plan as last time. My assistant is already there. Good. Very good. Well, that's it. Keep me informed. Yes. Jensen, how far along are you? The building is almost cleared. I think we'll be ready in 2 minutes. What about the special department? Excuse me, with what? With the special department. Department 31. I don't know of any special department commissioner, but I recommended a complete evacuation. Listen, it's 1:57 p.m. There are still people on the 31st floor. How long will it take you to get them down? Answer me. The elevators have already been turned off. For safety reasons, the entire electrical system of the building has been turned off. And if you take the stairs, at least 10 minutes, Inspector. I didn't know. Are you sure there are still people? 1:58 p.m. Listen to me. Don't answer. You have no time to lose. Leave the 300-meter radius around the main building. Stand in blind spots. If that doesn't work, lie down under cars. People should open their mouths because of the shockwave. Run. Murder on the 31st Floor. Radio play based on the novel by Pierre Walho. Adapted by Hans Ott.